Hello and welcome to today's video where I will go over everything you need to know to be able to apply BERT. I will also go through the code for some practical use cases like text classification and question answering. I discovered BERT when working on a natural language processing project and I found a lack of resources for beginners. That's why I wrote a Medium article and I will walk you through it today. The code is part of the Medium article. The link to the article is in the video description. You can modify the code for your own applications. Now let's get talking about BERT. So BERT stands for Bidirectional Encoder Representation from Transformer. It is a state-of-art language model by Google, which can be used for various NLP tasks. I will talk about question answering tasks as well as text classification. This will give you a good idea not only about question answering, but also how you can use BERT for classification or regression types of use cases. To understand BERT, we need to understand a concept called transfer learning. So transfer learning is a process where a machine learning model is developed for a general task, can be reused as a starting point for a specific business problem. So what it means that you don't have to do the heavy lifting for training on a huge corpus when you want to use it for your business application. So transfer learning has two parts. One is pre-training and other is fine-tuning. So pre-training can be done on the huge corpus or huge data set so that it has a good idea about natural language, and then you can fine tune on the specific task such as classification or question answering, which we will go through. Let me tell you a little bit more about the BERT pre-training. You don't have to do it on regular basis, but it is a good idea to understand it. So this is a very simplified version of pre-training. So basically BERT does two tasks as part of pre-training. Task number one is fill in the blanks, and task number two to see whether the two inputs are in continuation or not. So as you see in this diagram, BERT takes two chunks of text, which I'm showing as sentence 1 and sentence 2, and some of the words are masked. So if you see here, favorite and 2 are masked. As a part of pre-training process, it will try to predict these words, and also it will see whether sentence 2 is in logical continuation of sentence 1 or not. So it will be like a yes or no prediction. You can read in more details in the article. Second part is fine tuning. So fine tuning is basically the process where you train on a smaller set of data for a specific task, where it will adjust the weights a little bit so that it can perform the task. And I will show you the fine tuning in text classification use case. But also comes in various flavors like BERT large, BERT base, and few more. So I used BERT large for question answer use case and use BERT base for a classification use case. So before I go to the code, be sure to like and subscribe if you find this video helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section down below the video and I will try to answer them. The link to the Medium article can be found in the video description, so you can read that and follow along the code. First is classification of tweets data, where uh, we are classifying the tweets into normal tweets and disaster related tweets. And as I will go through this code, you will see that the same code can be used for regression or multi-class classification just by changing uh, parameters in one of the function in the code. So let me run this code. So first cell is just to uh, load the different libraries, and it will take a minute or so. And I mean, you don't have to run these pip commands every time. Of course, you have to do the and do the all the imports. One important thing I want to mention here, that make sure that you go to the runtime and you change the runtime type to GPU, especially for this code where I am doing the fine tuning of the model. You need to have GPU enabled, otherwise it is going to take uh, much more time. Okay, so let me cancel this. Okay, so as it is running, let me explain you few more cells. So in the first cell, I am loading this tweets data to a data frame. You can load this data using CSV file. Right now, I'm using it from my GitHub repository. And so just to remind you here that the code is available in Colab as well as in GitHub repository. I'm just demonstrating here in Colab because I'm also showing you the running code. Okay, so let me explain you the other cell as well by the time it is completing. So in this cell, I just want to look at the data, and if you see here, there are two types of tweets: a non-disaster tweet where target is 0, and tweet indicating disaster where target is 1. Let me run these cells. So this data is loaded, and if you see, we have 7,613 total number of records. And you can take a note here, right, that this is a very small corpus, only few thousand records, which we are using for the fine tuning, and it gives good performance just based on those. And this is just the distribution of disaster tweets and non-disaster tweets. So as you see here, data is fairly well distributed. Okay, so let's split into the train and test. So we have 5,100 records for training and 2,513 records for testing. Okay, so let's go to this cell. This is the important one where I'm loading the BERT layer. So let me run this. So first row is loading the BERT layer. Second one is loading the vocab file. And since I'm using uncased model, the lower case will be true. We are also creating the tokenizer object here. So BERT has its own tokenizer, and it is a word piece tokenizer. So if the word is not in the vocab, it could be a new word or a proper noun. It will break that word to multiple pieces, and it will use in the model. So as you see here, uh, total number of words in this vocab is around 30,000. Okay, this is a very important function you need to understand. So this function is to encode the text for the bird. So basically, you pass the text and you pass the tokenizer, which we created in the last cell, and you also give the maximum length, and it will encode the data for bird. Okay, so maximum length bird can take is 512. Definitely, you can keep it less so that it can run faster. I will not read through every line. There are comments here, so you can read it. It's a fairly straightforward code. But let me show you that how BERT does the tokenization with an example. So if you see here, the text is welcome to BERT session. And BERT tokenize is uh, as shown here. So basically it is adding two special token, CLS and SCP in this sentence, right? So we have CLS and then welcome to BERT session and SCP as tokens. So basically, in this case, it found all those words in the vocab, so it doesn't have to break. But if it is a new word here, it will break into multiple pieces. As you see here, 101 is the ID for CLS and 102 is ID for SCP. Since I have given max length as 7, it has padded it with 0. So we got only 6 tokens, so it added 1 0 here. Okay. So let me go to the second function. I would say this is even more important because here I had and given the option so that you can pass the parameters to make this for classification or regression or multi-class classification. So basically this function is to create the BERT model for classification or regression task. So it takes a parameter for model type. So you will give classification if it is a classification task. If it is a regression, you will pass it as a regression. And num classes will be 2 if it is a binary classification, and it will be more than 2 if it is a multi-class classification. So let me highlight a few more important things in this function. Again, this function is also commented well, so you can read it. And if there is any question, you can always ask that question in the comments. So one important part is that you can add more layers if you want to. So suppose you want to add a dropout layer, you can add it here. Right? Basically, you can just uncomment this line, and you want to add one more dense layer, you can add it here or uncomment this line, and you can add as many layers as you want. So this function is a bit generic so that you can use it for different types of use cases. So as you see here, when you give the model type as a classification and number of classes is 2, it uses sigmoid as the activation function in the last layer. Right? If the number of classes is more than 2, it uses softmax function. And if it is not a classification, that means it is a regression. It will use activation as a linear. So basically, the same function will work for multi-class classification regression, and binary classification. Similarly, while compiling the model, if it is a classification and classes are two, you will use the binary cross entropy. If there are more than two classes, it will use sparse categorical cross entropy. And if it is not classification, it will use MSE or mean square error as a loss function. So basically using this function, you can create a BERT model for various types of use cases. So here I'm using maxlen as 30 so that it run faster, but definitely you can go up to 512. Okay. Okay. So this row, I'm building BERT model using the function I just talked about. And if you see, I'm passing the model type as a classification and num classes as 2 because it's a binary classification. Okay. So this is the model summary. And if you see, there are around 109 million parameters because I'm using BERT standard model. If it was BERT large model, it would have been 340 million parameters. Okay, so let's encode the inputs for training. Okay. So this is using the function encode text for BERT, which we discussed earlier. Okay. Here, let me just run this model without fine tuning. So the idea is that you will see some accuracy here, uh, but accuracy should increase after we fine tune the model. Okay. So you see it's showing 57% of the accuracy. And let me start training this model. So I am just doing 2 epochs with a batch size of 32. You can definitely run more epochs to get the better performance. So I think it will take a minute or two. Maybe I will pause the video and I will come back. Okay, so now it has run. I think it took like a minute or so. So the training or fine tuning is complete for this model. And let's check the accuracy we got. This is the accuracy just on the training side. And now we are encoding the data for the test. So I'm again using the encode text for BERT function to make the data in the BERT format. And then we run the model.predict. So if you see on the test data also, the accuracy is 82%, which is pretty good. Okay, so now let's just run the model on a normal tweet, like we have a great data symposium today. And if you see that the model is predicting as a non-disaster with a very low score. And if I run this on text like it is a terrorist attack, take shelter, it gives score as 0.84, which means it's a disaster type of tweet. So this completes the code for text classification. This is on the tweet data, but you should be able to use it for pretty much any kind of data. Another use case I will show you is BERT for question answering. So as you see here, that if we give a passage like John is a 10-year-old boy, he is the son of Robert Smith, Elizabeth Davis is Robert's wife, she teaches at UC Berkeley, Sophia Smith is Elizabeth's daughter, she studies at UC Davis. And the question is, which college does John's sister attend? So when these two inputs, means passage and question, are passed to the BERT model, it gives the correct answer as UC Davis. So this shows that BERT has a good understanding about language structure. It can also apply simple logic. For example, to answer the question above, it needs to find out who the John sister is, and it finds it and give us the correct answer. Good. Okay. So this is a code for question answer. Question answering, and let me run the first cell to just install the libraries and import them. And again, it will be a good idea if you make this GPU on so that the code runs a little bit faster. Okay, so if you see in this cell, we are using this model, which is a BERT large uncased model. So in this code, I'm not doing any fine tuning. I am using a code which is already fine tuned on SQuAD data. SQuAD stands for Stanford Question Answering Data Set. So basically, this model came after fine tuning BERT large model on SQuAD data set. Hence, this model will work like a question answering machine. Okay, so I think it will take a few seconds to load. Maybe I will pass recording. Okay, so model is loaded, and let's load the tokenizer as well. Okay, it's loaded. Okay, so this is a main function for question answering, and I had put the comments here so you can read it. I don't think reading line by line will be a good use of time for this video. Okay. So as you see here that this function is BERT answering machine, and we pass two parameters to it. First is question, and second is the text from where you get the answer. So if you see in this example that the question is which state John's friend lives, and the context or the passage from where to get the answer is my name is John, I live in San Jose, California. Rob is my friend, he lives in Seattle, Washington. So basically we have two locations here, San Jose, California and Seattle, Washington. And BERT figures out that John's friend is Rob, and Rob lives in a state called Washington. So that's how we get the answer as Washington. You see few numbers also here. So this function also gives you a few more things. So first number is answer start index. So from which index the answer is starting. So since it is a one word answer, the answer is starting from token number 32 and finishing it token number 32. And second two numbers are the start token score and in token score. So basically, we also get the scores of the token. It is selected for starting and ending the answer. Higher the score is better. And if you see this code, if the token score is negative, I am showing it here that but could not find the answer in the passage. And you will see in the example, if the answer was not in the passage, you will see that score is negative, and so you will see this text there. Okay, so let's go to the example. This is the first example I already talked about when I was talking about the Medium article. Uh, but if you see here, uh, that here I had put additional question, who is John's sister? Okay, so let me run this code first. Okay, so it gives the answer Sophia Smith as John's sister, right? Second question was already covered in the article. And third question I added, who is the president of UC Davis? So in this um, passage, which is very small passage, we don't have answer who is the UC Davis president, right? So we get the answer, sorry, I could not find an answer in the passage. So basically it is coming because we are getting the score negative, okay? So this is another example, and I will not read through the whole passage, but let me run it and see the answers. Okay. So this is the passage, and the questions are, what was the date we have on election day, right? Or what is the date on the election day? And Bud gives the answer from here, that election day is November 3rd, right? What is the concern discussed here? So we get the answer. It can be difficult for people to find time outside of work to visit a polling place and vote. So if you see that, you get a very logical answer, like there are no extra tokens or less tokens. So based on the question, it is extracting the answer from the passage. Right? Who is senior VP at Apple mentioned in this passage? So if you see the passage, this is the name mentioned in the passage as a senior VP of Apple. Okay. How Apple is addressing the issue? So Apple has told employees it will provide them with paid time off to vote in the presidential election on November 3rd. So it got the full sentence which is addressing this question. Okay, and similarly, it answers the fifth question as well. Okay, so let me go to the third and last example. So in this example, I took the BERT article. This is not the exactly the article which is on the Medium, but this is one of the version of the article, and I am putting like many questions here. So I think I will go through these questions so that it will be just a revision what was covered in the Medium article. Okay. So I will not read the passage again. This was pretty much covered in the Medium article anyway. Okay, so question number one, what is full form of BERT? So the answer is bidirectional encoder representation from transformer. So you can observe here that all the answers are in the lowercase because I'm using uncased model. But if you use cased model, you will see the case as well, like which words are supposed to be capitalized, they will be capitalized. Okay. What is the author's purpose in writing this article? Answer: to introduce BERT at high level and enable you to create practical applications using BERT. What is full form of NLP? Natural language processing. So I think I put NLP and within bracket natural language processing, so it got the answer. What is transfer learning? Answer: a model developed for a task can be reused as a starting point for another task. What is pre-training? Answer: teaching the English language to BERT model so that it can be used for various tasks which need knowledge of English. What corpus? BERT was pre-trained. BERT is trained on entirety of Wikipedia text as well as book corpus. Question: do we need to pre-train BERT model for general practical applications? Answer: you do not need to perform this step. Question: what is fine tuning? Answer: for a specific task such as classification or question answering, you just need to do incremental training on a much smaller data set. So have you seen that BERT was pre-trained on billions of words, but we did fine tuning on just 5,000 records. Okay. So what is MLM? Answer: mass language model. So as you have seen in Medium article, that we mask a few words and BERT tries to predict those as a part of pre-training. Which words are masked in the diagram? Answer: favorite and to. Question: what percentage of words are hidden when feeding text to BERT for pre-training? Answer: 15% of words are masked. So when BERT was pre-trained, they masked 15% of words. In fact, 10% of those words were replaced from other random words, and another 10% were kept as it is. But at high level, you can say that 15% of words were masked for BERT pre-training. Question: what is the analogy provided by the author for mass language modeling used in BERT pre-training? So if you read the article, it is covered here. So the answer is fill in the blanks task we may give to a student learning English. So basically the mass language modeling is pretty much like a fill in the blanks. So where you leave some words blank and you fill those words as a part of the learning process. Question: what is random forest algorithm? Since we haven't talked about random forest algorithm in the passage we provided to BERT, so we got the answer as sorry, I could not find the answer in the passage. And the last question: how this post may help you? Answer: you should be able to use BERT for binary or multi-class classification or regression model or question answering application. But definitely make sure that you read this article fully so that you get a good idea about BERT. So on this note, I think I can finish this video. Again, you may want to like and subscribe it. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section. So thanks for listening and bye.